What's up guys, Joseph Rakic here from josephrakicfitness.com, and today in this video I'm going to share with you 11 things that you should know when it comes to losing body fat. So the first thing that I want you guys to realize is when you are in a fat loss phase trying to lose body fat, you will most likely lose some strength. This is just due to the fact that you are lower in calories, you don't have those energy reserves, and you're flat and depleted. So my advice here is just to understand that you are going to be losing some strength. Now my advice when it comes to training is still train as heavy as you can, because you want to signal to the muscles that you are still training heavy, applying that progressive overload to those muscles so you maintain that muscle on your frame. A lot of people make the mistake and completely change up their routine. They find that they lose strength, so they completely change up their rep range. They start training with a lighter rep range and doing more reps, where I believe that is the wrong approach. Always train heavy like you've previously done in your off season, and focus on moving as much weight as you can with your muscle. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much weight you can move, it's about how much stress you can apply to that muscle. And if you're pushing as hard as you can for the strength capability that you have, you're applying maximum stress to that muscle. So don't change the intensity, don't change the volume by increasing or decreasing, keep it the same. Train hard, train heavy. The second thing that I want you to know is that you must prioritize the gym over cardio. Now when I mean the gym over cardio, I mean weights over cardio. A lot of people, they start their fat loss phase and they, for some reason, decrease their weight training sessions and increase their cardio, because they think the more cardio they do, the leaner they're going to get. Which, yes, is somewhat true, but you have to remember, we're trying to look like a physique athlete, a bodybuilder, someone with muscular frame, instead of just a skinny triathlon athlete. So when it comes to your training, prioritize your gym and the weight training sessions as number one. Cardio is a secondary thing. Cardio is a tool to burn calories. The more calories you burn, the greater calorie deficit you're in, and the more body fat you'll lose. But do not replace your weight training sessions with cardio. Always keep your weight training sessions as the base of your program if you're trying to look muscular and lean. The third thing I want you to know is you must eat in a calorie deficit. Fat loss all comes down to calories in versus calories out. If you're consuming less calories than what you burn on a daily basis, which is less calories than your maintenance calorie intake, then your body is short on energy. When your body is short on energy, your body has to get these calories from elsewhere. That elsewhere is your stored body fat. So you must remember, the number one most important thing when it comes to fat loss is actually maintaining a calorie deficit. If you can do that and you can stay consistent, you will lose fat. Fourth thing is prioritize high volume foods that are low in calories. So what I mean by that is, obviously, like I've explained before, when you're cutting, you need to consume less calories than what you usually do. Now, when you consume less calories, you're going to feel hungrier than you usually would. So the best advice that I can give to stick to your diet is base your diet around high volume foods that are low in calories. For example, I wouldn't advise you eating Pop-Tarts where one Pop-Tart is like 500 calories. I would advise you eating foods such as pumpkin. Pumpkin is very, very filling and very voluminous. However, it is super low in calories. So if you can base your diet around foods that are high in volume but low in calories, it'll fill you up much more. It'll keep you feeling fuller for longer. Therefore, your diet won't be so much of a struggle. The fifth thing is don't stress over the scale weight. A lot of people get too caught up in the weight on the scale. They weigh themselves every day, multiple times per day, and your weight is going to fluctuate. Obviously, because of many different factors. Have you eaten? Have you been toilet? The clothes that you're wearing, your scale weight can fluctuate quite a bit. So the best advice is weigh yourself at the same time every time that you weigh yourself. So if you do a weekly weigh-in, make sure that you weigh yourself Monday morning, first thing before you've eaten anything and after you've gone toilet. That way you can keep a consistent scale and adjust your weight accordingly. But if you weigh yourself every single day, you're going to see so much fluctuations. Some days you're going to be heavier than others, then you're going to lose half a kg, then you're going to go up 400 grams. So don't weigh yourself too often and don't get caught up in the scale. Weigh yourself at a weekly or twice weekly rate and then adjust it accordingly from there. If your weight is not decreasing, then you want to decrease your calories and or increase your cardio. The sixth thing that I want to share with you is focus on building the majority of your workout program around compound lifts. Now, the reason I say this and the reason I think it's so important when you are in a cutting phase is because you obviously want to burn as much calories as you can. The more calories we burn, the greater deficit we're in. The greater deficit, the more fat loss we're going to lose. So compound exercises such as your squats, your bench, your deadlift are the best exercises to burn calories. No other exercise is going to come close to burning the amount of calories compared to a squat, bench, and deadlift. If you do a bicep curl or a calf raise, the calorie burn is going to be completely different. So always base your workout program around the big compound lifts to get a greater calorie burn. Also, it's much more of a stress on the body, much more of a stress on the central nervous system. You break down a lot more muscle fibers. So the recovery process of this that your body has to go through is just a calorie burning process. Your body has to burn through so much calories in order to be able to recover and adapt to that stress that you put it through. The seventh thing I want to share is make sure that you don't go crazy with your cheat meals. Now, yes, cheat meals can have their place in a cutting diet. It can have its benefits. It can help you fill out, it can help you load up in glycogen, it can help some of your fat burning hormones such as leptin, T3, and it can give a little slight boost to metabolism. Nothing crazy, it's not the secret to fat loss, but most people get too caught up in cheat meals. They think, oh, I need to have a cheat meal to boost my metabolism. But in the reality of things, it doesn't have that much of a benefit to really outweigh a 2,000 to 3,000 calorie binge. So you have to be careful when it comes to cheat meal. Sometimes a cheat meal can help you adhere to your calorie deficit because you know at the end of this week or you know at the end of 2 weeks you get a reward. So it makes you stick to the diet, which may help with adherence. But if your cheat meals get too out of control, then you're pretty much just wiping out all that hard work and all that cardio that you've done the prior week. The eighth thing I want to share is I want you guys to understand that during a cutting phase, you will feel smaller, you will feel flat, and you will feel depleted. Flat basically just means your muscles aren't full. And it's not a good feeling, but the reason that you feel like this is simply because you are so low in calories and your body has burnt through its glycogen stores. But after a cheat meal, or once you're filled back up with some more calories, you will fill out, your muscles will feel fuller, tighter, and everything will be good. It's normal, everyone goes through it. You just have to accept it and continue pushing forward. Number 9 is don't alternate between cutting and bulking cycles too often. I see this such a common problem with people. They bulk for 4 weeks, then they cut for 2 weeks, then they bulk for 3 weeks, and they cut for 4 weeks. And to me, they're just all over the place. To do something properly, I say focus on one goal, then go all in. So I say when you're doing a cut, go for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, pick a time frame and just really grind that out. Then when it comes time to go to your bulking phase, stick to it for a decent amount of time, because the longer you can spend in the off season, the longer you can spend in a calorie surplus, the faster your metabolism is going to get. And the faster your metabolism gets, the more you can increase calories over time. The higher your calorie intake becomes, the easier it is going to be for fat loss next time you start your cutting phase. So next time you go on a bulking or cutting phase, don't make it a short, fast process. Give it time to really get into the bulking or cutting phase and drag it out. The slower you diet, the better it's going to be for maintaining the muscle. And the slower you bulk, the better it's going to be to maintaining a low body fat percentage. 10th thing I want to share is make sure that you optimize your sleep. Sleep is so important, guys. I'm probably not the best at sleep. I don't get enough sleep myself, but I do want to stress how important sleep is for muscle gain and fat loss. I recommend to all my clients to get a minimum of 7 to 8 hours per night. I know I'm bad, I get around 6, but if I could sleep more, I would, because sleep is so important for your body's recovery process, your central nervous system, plus your fat burning hormones. You need to have proper sleep for all of your hormones to be at an optimal level. You also need to focus on getting enough sleep so next day at the gym you feel fully recovered, you feel fresh, and you can smash it. And the harder you guys smash it at the gym, the more muscle fiber damage you're going to do, therefore the more chance for better gains. Also, you have to remember, muscles don't grow when you're in the gym. Muscles grow when they are recovering and when they're resting. The best time for muscle growth is your sleep. So my advice to you guys, even though I don't follow my own advice, is to aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night minimum. If you can do that, you're going to get so much better results. The 11th thing, guys, I want you to understand that when you are on a cutting diet, a fat loss phase, you're going to be super hungry. You're going to get crazy cravings. And the longer that you diet, the worse it's going to get. Once you diet for 10 weeks or 20 weeks, the hunger and the cravings are going to get so bad. But there are little tips and techniques that you can do to try and prevent this as much as possible. For example, you can consume foods higher in fiber. The more fiber you consume, the longer you're going to feel full. Also, it may help to drink more water. The more water you drink, the fuller you're going to feel. Also, supplementing with BCAA'S are another great way to consume more water, but also suppress your appetite. If you drink BCAA'S in between your meals, it suppresses your appetite greatly. Therefore, you don't have that crazy hunger, you don't have the cravings. There are other tips and techniques as well, like maybe chewing gum. It just signals to your body that you are eating, so it takes away that hunger a little bit. Maybe it could be drinking coffee in between your meals. There are many different tips and tricks, but I just want you guys to understand that when you are dieting, trying to lose fat, hunger and cravings is going to be an aspect. Yes, you can have willpower and you can try and grind it out, but it does get very hard. So adding in all these little tips and techniques and tricks will help you greatly when it comes to doing a correct diet and a correct cut. Anyway guys, that is the end of the video. I hope those 11 tips were helpful for you. I hope you learned something. I hope you can apply them to your own life, and I hope that it helps you achieve better results next time you go on a cutting phase. Don't forget though guys, the most important thing is your diet. And if you need a diet that has worked out 100% for you based around your goals and what you're trying to achieve, with all protein, carbohydrates and fats met perfectly for you and your goals, I would love to help you. I'm an online personal trainer. I've helped more than 130,000 people worldwide transform their physiques, and I know I can help you too. So if you are interested in joining the JF program, click the link in the bio down below, and all the information is there. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more great content like this.